Okay, what we have here is a bond. Again, the face value is written right on the bond. That's the amount that must be paid back at maturity. And there'll also be a stated rate, in this case 9%, written right on the bond. Okay. Now, that's what the company thought was a fair deal at the time, but I'll tell you, market rates change, things happen. So let me go through the scenarios when market rate does change. But let's go first through where at the time the company thought 9% was fair. Well, when they get the bonds out to the public, maybe 9% is the going market rate. If the stated rate, 9% in this example, equals the market rate, the rate the market expects for that level of risk is also 9%, then the bond will sell for $1,000. And you'll see it quoted in the financial press as it's selling at 100.000, meaning it sold at 100% of the par value, or 1,000. But what could happen is that the market rates may go up. In other words, when someone were to go and buy the bond, they might find that at that time that 9% is not a reasonable rate, that people expect more for that level of risk. If that's the case, the only way the company is going to be able to sell it is to sell it at a discount, reduce the price. So if that's the case, they'll sell it for less than 1,000, but remember, they still have to pay back the full 1,000. So in this example I'll give you here, let's say the bond sells at 88.375. That means that it's going to sell for 88.375% of the 1,000, or in other words, the company is only going to get $883.75 when that bond gets issued. It must pay 9%, but by the way, that 9% is too little. Remember, the bondholders were expecting a higher return. So to compensate the bondholders for not getting enough interest along the way, the bondholders will have only paid $883.75, but will get the full 1,000 when the bond matures. So this discount, the difference between what they get, the bondholders get when the bond matures and what they had to pay to get that, really represents interest. All right, what also could be the case is that the stated rate is higher than what the market expects. If that's the case, it would sell at a premium, more than 1,000. So if a bond sells for 1,000 or 1.000, means that it sold for 101% of the face value. So to buy that bond, one would have to pay $1,010. So let's think about that. If you were to sell this bond, the issuer would get 1,010, but only have to pay back 1,000 when the bond matures. The reason for that is the company will be paying too high of an interest along the way compared to what the market expects. So the stated rate versus the market rate will affect what a bond will sell for. In other words, the amount the company will be able to get when it issues the bond. What will not change is this and this. The company is legally obligated to meet that. The difference between what they pay back when the bond matures and what they get when they sell it will represent the difference between the stated rate and the market rate, so that in the end, whoever invests in these bonds will get a return on their investment equal to the market rate of interest. And that's how bonds work.